So, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, the sponsor of the House companion bill, Mr. Nehls.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support of Senate Joint Resolution 11, which nullifies the Biden administration's heavy-duty vehicle emissions rule. And I am proud to have led this effort in the House, and I commend my colleagues in the Senate for swiftly passing this important legislation. The joint resolution before us today would overturn the EPA's aggressive heavy-duty vehicle emissions final rule, which provides 80% more stringent regulations than current standards and unfairly targets our trucking industry. And by imposing these new emissions reduction requirements for vehicle models that are made in 2027 and beyond, it will significantly increase the costs of heavy-duty vehicles. And that's whether you own an F-250 or a semi-truck. This new regulation will directly affect you. According to the EPA, it is projected the cost between $2,500 and $8,300 per vehicle to adhere to this new final rule. Other estimates, such as the one from the American Truck Dealers Association, stated it is closer to $42,000 per truck. And folks, I want to be crystal clear today. Woke bureaucrats in Washington are on a climate justice crusade, using the heavy hand of government to go after the trucking industry that keeps America moving. And in the last 3 decades, we've made significant strides in the right direction to decrease emissions and increase efficiency. Today's new trucks have reduced nitrogen oxide emissions by more than 98% since the 1990s. The EPA's final rule is also ineffective, given that it incentivizes older and higher-emitting trucks to operate longer due to the expensive technology required for compliant vehicles. This is unacceptable and yet another blatant example of burdensome government regulation. Simply put, the EPA has failed to address legitimate concerns for the trucking industry. However, the EPA unilaterally imposed this detrimental rule, which could lead to a litany of further supply chain disruptions across the country, hit the smaller mom-and-pop trucking companies the hardest, and pass along increased costs to the American consumer. Amidst record-high inflation and supply chain challenges, more expensive freight costs and fewer trucks on the road will only further perpetuate this problem. This is exactly why it is imperative that the House passes this joint resolution to nullify this burdensome regulation. And I want to thank OIDA, Senator Fisher, and the trucking industry for being front and center on this issue. I proudly support our truckers, our small businesses, and pro-growth policies to keep our economy strong. And I urge all of my colleagues to vote yes on this joint resolution. And with that, sir, I yield back the balance of my time.